self-service BI. Sorry. What is self-service BI? Well, it's when users take care of their own reporting needs anytime, anywhere, without calling for an expert. And that's usually not what happens today in the Sage 300 market. Typically today, when people need a report, a new report, or a modified report, what happens? They have to call an expert, and they have to wait, typically, for a long time. So quite often, users won't be able to make the most informed decision because they cannot gather information anytime, anywhere. That's what we provide. We provide a self-service BI solution that allows users to be anytime, anywhere, using desktop, web, and mobile devices to build, slice and dice, change reports without calling for an expert. That means liberation for everyone, meaning users now can find answers to their questions without calling for experts, so they are liberated to make decisions by themselves, while people who usually are building reports like IT and accounting, now those people can also focus more on tasks they are really experts at. So everyone is liberated. And that's what we're going to be talking about here today is self-service BI using DataSelf Analytics. My name is Johnny Girardi. I'm the founder and CEO of DataSelf. So let's jump right into the product to take a look at how things work. So first of all, our solution comes pre-configured for Sage 300 to cover the most popular modules such as financials, payables, receivables, purchasing, inventory, sales, receivables, order entry, and so forth. Sorry. Now, in my presentation here, to make it simpler, I'm going to be focusing on order entry kind of analysis, which is kind of sales analysis, which is easy to understand to most people. And I'm going to build two kind of reports here. One is kind of a transaction level report to show detailed sales information, including let's say invoice number. And the other one is I'm going to be building a dashboard for management purposes. So two different types of needs, and I'm going to show how easy it is to tackle them without being an expert. So let's go for it. So here on the right, I have what is called a connector. In this case, it's a sales connector that shows my dimensions, which are the things I want to aggregate my reports, customer, product, invoice information, and so forth. And at the bottom, I have the measures that I want to summarize things, the sales, cost of sales, gross profit, and so forth. Well, let's build the first part of my presentation, which is a detailed report showing sales information. So let me take my sales and drag to my report here. And let me put my dates in my rows, just to have an idea of my total sales. So by year, I have 3 years worth of data in my sample database. This is the total sales. I can expand from year to quarter. I can expand to quarter to month, and I can go to the month to the day level if I want to. So very straightforward. Let me go back to the quarter level. In my last quarter, in my sample database is Q3, so it's last quarter of 2014. Now let me just show the last quarter of 2014. So let me filter this information by the date. I'm adding date to my filters. And I have many ways that I can filter dates by, different segments of my dates. But I like to choose the relative date because it looks at periods comparing to today's date. So let's say, this would be looking at, days, weeks, months, quarters, or years. Let me choose year, maybe quarter. It could be this quarter, previous quarter, last X number of quarters, next quarters, whatever. So let me choose the previous quarter because of the last in my sample database. So when I click OK, it's going to only show the last one here. So there it is, only that one. And let me put this actually in my columns instead, so the dates in my columns. Now I want to build a detailed report showing customer information, invoice number, invoice date, and a bunch of other things. The good news is you just drag and drop. It's very intuitive. So if I want to see customer, I find customer in my list. I drag to my rows. So there it is, all my customers in total sales in the third quarter of this year. Maybe I want to see invoice number. I'll go to the invoice details and drag invoice number to my report. So there it is, by customer, invoice number, and the total by invoice. Maybe you want to break down by, I don't know, something for my products. And I have here item brand, which would be a optional field, a custom field in the Sage 300 database. Well, just drag and drop. So there it is, customer, invoice number, item brand. Maybe I want to put the product information. I just keep on dragging and dropping these fields into my report, and I got the information. Maybe the date. Let's put the date actually after my invoice number. I'm going to drop it right here after my invoice number. So there it is, customer, invoice number, invoice date, item brand, product, sales. Let's put also quantity shipped. And let's put the measures below my quarter. Sorry about that. So there it is. Very easy, very straightforward, drag and drop. I do not need to be an expert to build a report like this and have the insight that I'm looking for. So this is one of the one simple example that I built looking at detail level information. Now let me show how to build a dashboard, like more for management perspective. In this dashboard, we'll have three main components. One will be sales and number of meetings from CRM by month and by company. My sample database has a multi-company framework. Then I want to see sales on a map showing bigger sales by state, and also how large the deals are by state. So let's build a dashboard. So I'm going to create a new sheet here. In the first report, we'll show sales. So I'm going to put sales here. And I want to break down by month. So I'm going to put my months in my columns. So there it is, by month, I see my sales growing. Now, in my sample database, I have a multi-company framework, 4 different Sage 300 databases that I have consolidated into a single one. Well, I want to split sales by each individual company. Well, let's put the company then into my color shelf. So right now, for each company, I have a different color, and I see the sales by each one of them. The other thing is, in my sample here, I already have combined Sage 300 data with Sage CRM or SalesLogix information. I mean, CRM information combined with my ERP information. So I want to see number of meetings in my report. I just drag and drop. So this is sales from Accpac, Sage 300. This is the number of meetings for my CRM. And to tell them apart, I'm going to make bars for the number of meetings, and I'll keep lines for my sales. Okay, so this is one piece of information for my dashboard. Next part, I want to build a report that shows sales by state, and I can choose bill to information, ship to information. Anything that has a geography component can be part of this mapping capabilities. I'm going to choose customer address here. I'm going to choose state. I want to see the deal size in my sales amount. I'm going to put all this information on a map. Let's make the bubbles a little bigger. So in this example, I have bigger bubbles, bigger sales. So by state, I have, a representation of, sales by state. And each bubble is sliced by these colors, which are the aggregation of sales by deal size, large, medium, and small deals. And finally, I want to get the same information. I want to duplicate it and see this information on a grid approach without the deal size, just the total sales by state. And finally, I want to combine all these pieces of information in a single dashboard so I can send to people who are, let's say, on the field meeting with clients. So I want to drag my map. I want to put my sales by month at the bottom, and the last piece of information on the right here. As you can tell, everything is drag and drop, fairly straightforward. I do not need to be an expert. I do not need to spend days, weeks, months getting to learn how to use this tool. We have many of our clients where the company owner, the president, the CEO, salespeople, CFOs, controllers, people who before they were only report consumers, they're now taking ownership of their own reporting needs. These people, the decision makers, are the people who know the business, who know the problems, the opportunities, and they have the questions. And if you give them this tool, the self-service tool, that they can find the answers to their questions, they'll more quickly be able to make more informed decisions, hopefully better decisions, and move the needle, improve the business operation. So that's critical. Give the people who need information a tool that they'll be able to find their answers and make more informed decisions. Now let me show you here a little bit of more PowerPoint concepts. So our tool, as I mentioned, is a user-centric tool. And why do I have this picture here? Well, this is my mom and my dad. A few months ago, I went to visit them in Brazil. I'm originally from Brazil, by the way. My mom was turning 80. And my mom, she never used a computer in her life. You know, computers are too complicated for her. You need to be an expert to use a computer. So every time she would try to Skype with me, she would have to call one of my siblings to make a Skype with me because computer was too complicated. Well, I gave her an iPad last year, and as you know, an iPad is a user-centric computer. It's designed for average users. Since I gave her the iPad, now mom, you know, she Skypes directly with me and other people by herself. She checks the news. She even uses Facebook. And why? Because an iPad is a user-centric computer. And that's what our solution is from a reporting standpoint, is a user-centric reporting technology that allows anyone, anytime, anywhere to become self-sufficient. So that's really the focus of, you know, self-service BI. The other main value that we provide is our core team has been working with Sage 300 and Accpac in the past, as it was called, for over 14 years now. And out of the box, we have more than 5,000 reports, dashboards, and KPIs built for Sage 300. So not only this is a self-service BI, meaning easy to use, easy to customize, easy to slice and dice, but there's a lot of, you know, great reports built out of the box. And let me show some of them right now. Now, when I showed you this tool here, that's the desktop client. Most people would be accessing reports and building and slicing and dicing reports using the web portal, using web devices or mobile devices. When you log to this portal, you'll see your own dashboards. So if you are the CEO, you'll see only the CEO dashboards and reports. If you are from the sales team, you'd see the sales team dashboards. Now let me show you an example here. If I'm from the sales team, let's say, and I open one of the sales dashboards, like this one, the tool can be configured in a way that it will show only your own information. So in this case here, if I'm the rep for California, these would be the top customers in California, while the rep in Florida opens the same dashboard and views only the top customers in Florida, while the big boss opens the same dashboard and views the top customers across all territories. So security can control what kind of information each person can view, even though it's the same dashboard for everyone. So security is pretty important, and it's pretty smart security layers here. Now, of the out-of-the-box reports, the 5,000 that we talked about, let me show some examples of how we built these things. So this is, again, is a sales dashboard. We have the salespeople, customers here. Every customer has a bar, bigger sales. In the color of the bar is represented by the gross profit theme here, not so profitable to very profitable. And the black dots also show profitability. Now, if one of my main metrics is try to improve profitability, this dashboard could be useful because next time that I look at it, it won't take me much to understand which one of my top customers are not so profitable, and maybe I need to act on to improve profitability. So very insightful dashboards. We have lots of top performer dashboards like this. Other type of important dashboards is looking at the tip of the growth curve of your main key performance indicators. And this is another example here on the sales side. This one is showing the top customer by sales growth since last year to date, and the top decline. Top growth in this example maybe are not so critical because they're probably sorry about that. They're probably being taken care of. So maybe in this report is not so critical. But the top customer by sales decline, maybe it is critical. Maybe some of these customers are leaving your business. And if you don't act in a timely fashion, they may be gone for good. So knowing who these clients are is the first step towards addressing issues, if there are any. So looking at the tip of the growth curve of your sales, of your expenses, quantity on hand, payroll, whatever it is usually critical. And this tool has many ways that can help you focus your resources on what matters the most. Another way of looking at the out-of-the-box solution is, and this is a sales commission example. So this is a very simple sales commission report showing for my current month, for every day, it shows the sales accumulating throughout the month on this gray line. And this is my target, so hopefully by the end of the month I'm going to be crossing my sales target. And the blue would be how much I'm accumulating in sales commission throughout the month. Now, if I'm the salesperson, I may want to receive this dashboard every Friday evening because I may want to know how well I'm doing as far as commission goes. And if I want to do something extra over the weekend, spend some extra money, I want to know beforehand. So I can come over here and click on this subscribe button and tell, hey, I want to receive a copy of this report in my inbox every Friday evening. So it becomes self-service. Now I no longer need to go to this report here to see what the status. I would be just receiving in my inbox this report refreshed every Friday evening. I can check what the status is, and if I have enough money, do something extra over the weekend. So the whole idea of self-service is to provide tools to users so they can find information that they need anytime, anywhere. Let me show some other concepts here on the out-of-the-box solution. Another kind of important analysis is what is called exception reporting. Exception reporting is when you want to analyze things that are no longer happening. And I'm showing a sales example. This is showing customers who were buying before but no longer buying. And here we're looking for 4 different time buckets. Buying the last 60 days but not in the last 30 days. Or buying the last 6 months but not in the last 2 months. Buying the last 3 years but not in the last year. Buying the last 5 years but not in the last 2 years. I mean, I'm not sure which one would be important for your business, if any of them. But the idea is, if you look at transactions that are no longer happening, some of them can be critical, and this tool provides different ways that you can look at that. All right, so this was a little overview of the product. Let me go back to the PowerPoint now. So how do we accomplish such a self-service user-centric technology? Well, Gartner is one of the most reputable companies doing technology assessment in the Fortune 2000, and their latest assessment for BI and analytics platforms that was released in February 2014, they defined that Tableau is the leader in ease of use and dashboarding in the Fortune 2000 world, while Microsoft is the leader in the BI infrastructure for the Fortune 2000 companies. What about these two companies? What about DataSelf? Well, what you get from DataSelf Analytics is actually the two leaders, as Gartner defined them. So we get Tableau, we get Microsoft BI, we add our own technology that eliminates programming from these two vendors, and we add more than 5,000 reports, dashboards, and KPIs to the solution. So what you get from DataSelf Analytics is a enterprise-level, self-service BI, user-centered technology that uses nothing but the best that is available for Fortune 2000 companies. It takes usually hours, maybe days to deploy. We have been working with enterprise-level technology for over 14 years with Sage 300, so we know Sage 300 really well, and we know enterprise-level technology really well. And this technology costs a fraction of the cost if you try to build this technology from scratch, so really inexpensive. So that was pretty much a presentation. I'm going to open the questions and answers. If you have questions, please use the GoToWebinar panel. You write the question, send it, and I'll be addressing the next 2 minutes. So let's see if we have questions. We have questions. So question from Peter here. What versions are Sage 300 versions are supported? Peter, thanks for your question. Good question, Peter. Let me go here to our website. If you go to analytics by, our website is dataself.com. Go to analytics by product and choose Sage 300. So here you have a bunch of materials related to Sage 300, including what versions we support. And actually this page should be updated because we support version, yes, from version 4.0 all the way to the latest. So we go back almost like 12, 13 years ago, supporting old Accpac versions to, up to the latest. We also have here recorded webinar if you want to learn more about it. There is software architecture, ROI, brochure. This link has a list of the out-of-the-box reports included in the solution, so feel free to use this page to learn more about our solution. Peter, thanks for your question. Let's see more questions here. So a question here from Denise. Is it possible to have connectors into the live Sage 300 database to capture, for example, orders that have an expected ship date of today? Denise, I'm not quite sure your question. I'm a little sick today, so maybe my brain is not working really well, but overall, I think I'm going to be able to convey the messages. This is a technology designed for reporting. It's an enterprise-level technology designed for reporting. If today you are working with reporting using Crystal, Excel, Access, reporting service, whatever it is, and you can do it in a cumbersome way, time-consuming way, labor-intensive way, but you can do it, this technology usually will make it much easier, much faster, and will allow business people to take ownership of the reporting. So if there's a way to do it, absolutely this can do the work. Sometimes there's some additional massaging required. Let's say, I think Denise, you mentioned here about capturing sales orders with the expected ship date of today. Sometimes you need to go to the Accpac database and system to set up some additional optional fields or configuration to capture information that may not be captured today. The point is, once the data is in the system or somewhere, maybe the information is an Excel file or somewhere else, we can combine data. Let me show the architecture here. We can combine data from any data source, Sage 300, Sage CRM, SalesLogix, whatever. We can combine the data into our ultralight data warehouse, then provide information using the web portal. So pretty much, if it can be done through a reporting tool, it will be better done by this. It will become self-service once the mapping is done. Well, folks, we scheduled this meeting to be of 25 minutes. So we're going to be wrapping it up, but we have more questions. We will be addressing them on a one-on-one basis after, later today or tomorrow. I really appreciate your time in joining us. If you want to talk with me more about our technology or comparisons of our technology with other vendors, please feel free to contact me. Here you have my cell phone, my email, and my Twitter account. I really appreciate your joining us today. I hope you have a happy Thursday. Thank you, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.